Hello and welcome to English Podcast 2.0. It's wonderful to have you back with us today. In today's episode, we'll dive into a simple Zen story that teaches us a very important lesson about self-worth. So often in life, we measure our value by external factors, what we do, what we have, or what others think of us. But Zen Buddhism teaches us that true worth comes from within. This story is a beautiful reminder of how to recognize your own value and to understand that you are already enough, just as you are. So, relax, take a deep breath, and let's begin this journey of self-discovery through today's Zen story. A long time ago, there was a Zen master named Hoshi who lived in a quiet temple on a hill. One day, a young man traveled from a distant village to meet Master Hoshi. The man had heard of the master's wisdom and wanted to seek his guidance. When the young man arrived at the temple, he bowed to the master and said, "Master, I have traveled many miles to ask you a question that has been troubling me for a long time. I feel lost and unsure of my value. I compare myself to others, and I feel that I am not as good as them. How can I discover my true worth?" Master Hoshi smiled kindly at the young man. "Come with me," he said. "I will show you something." The master led the young man to a small, quiet garden in the back of the temple. In the middle of the garden was a small stone, smooth and unremarkable. The Zen master pointed to it and asked, "What do you think of this stone?" The young man looked at the stone and shrugged. "It's just a stone, nothing special." Master Hoshi nodded and then said, "Let me show you something." The master picked up the stone and placed it in the sunlight. As the sunlight touched the stone, it began to sparkle and shine, reflecting the light in beautiful patterns. The young man's eyes widened in surprise. "It's beautiful," he exclaimed. Master Hoshi smiled. "This stone is like you," he said. "At first glance, it may seem ordinary, but when you let it shine in the right light, it reveals its true beauty. Just like this stone, your true worth is already inside of you. You may not always see it, especially when you compare yourself to others. But like this stone, when you recognize your value and let your true self shine, you'll realize how beautiful and unique you are." The young man stood still, taking in the master's words. He had never thought of himself in that way before. He had always measured his worth by comparing himself to others. But now he began to understand that his true value wasn't determined by what others thought of him. It was something deeper, something he had within himself all along. Master Hoshi continued, "Just like the stone, you have your own light. You may not always see it, but it's there, waiting to shine. Don't let your doubts or comparisons hide it. Embrace who you are and let your true worth shine through." So what can we learn from the story of the Zen master and the stone? The lesson here is simple but powerful. Your true worth is not determined by comparisons or external expectations. It is already inside of you. Just like the stone, which may seem ordinary at first glance, your true value shines when you allow yourself to be who you really are. In our lives, it's easy to fall into the trap of comparing ourselves to others, whether it's about our success, appearance, or abilities. But this story reminds us that our worth is not based on how we measure up to others. It's about recognizing the unique qualities we all possess and letting them shine. Take a moment to reflect on your own life. Think about something that makes you special, something that only you can offer to the world. It could be your kindness, your creativity, your ability to help others, or even just the way you make people smile. These are the qualities that make you unique, and they are what give you true worth. Whenever you start to compare yourself to others, remember the stone in the garden. Know that just like that stone, your true beauty and value are always there, waiting to be recognized. The key is to embrace who you are and let your light shine. Thank you for joining me in today's episode of English Podcast 2.0. I hope this Zen story about discovering your true worth has inspired you to recognize your value and stop comparing yourself to others. Remember, your worth comes from within. It's not something that can be measured by outside standards. So take a moment today to reflect on what makes you unique. Let go of comparisons and allow your true worth to shine. And as you continue learning English, remember that the journey itself is part of your unique story. Every step you take, every new word you learn, is part of what makes you who you are. I'll see you in the next episode, where we'll continue learning English through powerful stories and lessons. Until then, take care, embrace your worth, and keep practicing your English.